You know, not one Jew on that list. Thank you guys. Hey, my name has been Zach Smith. I want to give it up for one of my best friends in the entire world. I wouldn't be here without him. Shout out, Derek Stacy.
He left the mic stand all the way over there, guys. Whatever. The sense of professionalism here is insane. It's insane. This is pretty cool, you guys. You guys excited to be here? That is awesome. Very happy to welcome you all to the Paramount Players performance of stand-up comedy. Just kidding. I tried out for the Paramount Players when I was 9 years old. They said, get out of here. I tried out for the Sound of Music. Do you guys know how many Von Trapp kids there are? Couldn't be one of them? No, I did do a performance here when I was younger. I performed in the, I almost said Sound of Music again. Oh. I performed in It's a Wonderful Life. Do you guys want to take a guess at who I performed as in It's a Wonderful Life? Dead silence, awesome. Yeah, let's keep that going. I performed as Caroler number 14, the astounding role, star of the show. I didn't sing a single song. I didn't. It was really embarrassing because like they even looked at me and they were like, you don't gotta sing. The rest of them can carry you. I was like, my parents are gonna be here. They said probably for the best then. Okay. No, but it was super cool because on one of the performance days, my entire 4th grade class came. I was like, oh, that's really sweet. And now I'm realizing it was probably a planned field trip beforehand. I had such an ego about it. They pre-planned that, didn't they? It didn't help that when I went into class, you know, all these kids came up to me and were like, good job, Derek, you did great. And I was like, oh, they actually saw me. But then this one kid came up to me and goes, were you even up there? That's the biggest ego check I've ever gotten. Oh, it was rough. Do we have any Taylor Swift fans here? So am I, if you couldn't tell by everything about me. I am. I'm a pretty big Taylor Swift fan. I like her music, sometimes. She released this song called Anti-Hero. Have any of you guys heard this song? It's a pretty good song until it gets to the second verse. Do you guys know how the second verse starts? I'll tell you, don't worry. It starts with, sometimes I think everyone is a sexy baby. And I'm just the monster on the hill. Hey Taylor, what's a sexy baby? Second question, why are you the monster looking at all these sexy babies? Do you guys know the last monster to look at sexy babies? Epstein. I'm 22, I'm pretty young, younger than this entire front row. That's lovely. I know my audience, I guess. But no, I was in high school relatively recently, and do you guys want to hear about the worst thing to ever happen to me in high school? Yeah? Don't cheer! That's insane! I'm about to tell you guys a traumatic event, you're like, let's go! No, I got stood up at homecoming. Yeah, don't you guys feel like jerks now? No, it's fine, it's fine. I get to do this and talk about it now, and I don't know where she is. So here's what happened is I asked this girl to homecoming about like a month before. And she said yes, which is really cool for me, someone who had never dated a girl before. And so she says yes, and a couple weeks go by and like I buy the homecoming tickets and they're $50, which is a lot of money to a 16-year-old. To be fair, it's a lot of money to me now. Have you seen the economy? But so I buy these tickets, and then about a week and a half before the dance, She comes up to me in school and she goes, Derek, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but I can't go to the dance. And I was like, what do you mean you can't go to the dance? She goes, my dad, he has cancer. And guys, you can't be upset about that, right? You can't be like, well, there was 4 stages. You can make it to one dance, right? I was professional. I said, I understand. But I still went, of course, because I had bought the tickets. I didn't get a second date. But I go, and as I'm there for like an hour and a half, I finally look over through this crowd and it parts, and she's standing there. And you know, I'm 16. My first thought is, that's a movie moment. And then it parts about 3 more feet and there's a guy dancing with her. I freak out. Who's this awed? What are you doing? You broke the comedic tension. Let's roll it back. Okay, I was like, oh. And then about 30 minutes after we see each other, she walks up to me and she goes, hey Derek, I think we need to talk. And I was like, Captain Obvious? Yeah, of course we do. And she goes, did you do the English homework this weekend? And I said, I actually did, in between your dad's chemo treatments. I didn't actually. I sent her a picture of the homework, guys. I was desperate. I'm not gonna say her name, but one time I did a performance and I did, and I posted it on social media. She didn't like that very much, guys. She posted a TikTok response video and she goes, all this video is ego. You're not even funny. No one laughed at the joke. Doesn't she look stupid now, guys? I mean, come on. I'm gonna tell another story from high school, because that's most of my life experience now. This is the craziest thing that ever happened to me in high school. I was super into politics. I'm not gonna talk about it, it's fine, don't be worried. But I was, so I took an AP Gov class my senior year. One of my favorite classes. Well, one day this girl, she raises her hand, stands up high and wide, and the teacher calls on her, and she goes, I think we need another 9/11. Flag on the play. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it didn't click to us at first, because almost all of us were born post 9/11. So 9/11 to us was the butt to a Family Guy joke. And the only reason we knew Family Guy was because of TikTok. But she realizes what she said, and then we also all realized what she said. Real awkward energy in the room when that happened. The teacher, stone-faced for 5 minutes. And then she stands up after realizing what she said. She goes, what I really meant was we need another event so tragic that it brings Americans together. So I stood up and I said, how about we stick to the Winter Olympics, you know? Come on, 9/11 never brought me and my mom together, but curling? I'm up at 6 a.m. You all heard an audible laugh before the rest of you? That was my mother, because she knows it's true. I love that little thing. They just slide everywhere. I do have I'm kind of an adult now. I work like a real job, which is cool. I work at a hospital now. And I do this thing where I schedule for different departments. Do you guys know what gastroenterology is? Everyone was so sad because they've had a camera shoved somewhere they don't. That's what that noise was, guys. They study your intestines. And so I got a call this one day from this 84-year-old lady. I answer the phone. She is crying, tears. And she goes, I got a UTI. And I've got to cancel my colonoscopy. And I felt horrible because this 84-year-old woman is calling me crying. And so she's like, I got to cancel my colonoscopy. I was like, that's okay. We'll get that canceled. And then she was like, do you want to hear how I got this UTI? I was like, no. We can stop. We can take a pause there. And then she told me, she was like, when I use the restroom, the water splashes up. And I was like, yeah. Oh no. And then she, before she got off the phone, she was like, but I do have to say, I feel blessed by God for this UTI. Because I was really scared of getting that colonoscopy. So I was like, God bless, we'll call you back when you're feeling better. And I hung up the phone. Then there's only a couple of seconds before I get my next call. So then I get my next call, and this lady, I pick up, she goes, hey, I gotta cancel my colonoscopy. I just want a free vacation. That's the one God loves, guys. I mean, come on. When they said the Lord works in mysterious ways, I didn't admit that mysterious, you know? Do you guys want to hear about the craziest Uber ride I ever had? See, you guys weren't in the car, so you're excited. So I was up at a show. I was up in Huntington. I was staying at my friend Zach's house, but he had had a couple drinks, so he wanted to do the responsible thing, and he calls me an Uber. Very nice guy. Who awed? Someone awed? Don't. He had 30 beers. That's too many. It's too many. So he calls me this Uber, and we wait for 45 minutes for this Uber to arrive. Finally, this Uber arrives. It is Brett. It's a 45-year-old white man. I walk out to the car. There is a 50-year-old black woman and a 46-year-old white lady in the front seats. I said, are you guys Brett? And they said, do we look like Brett? I was like, I don't know how this works. And they were like, well, Brett's my husband. He was really tired after his day job today, so we took the Uber for a spin. So I said, cool, I'm gonna get in the back. Is that cool with you guys? They were like, yeah, where else are you gonna get? It's like, you didn't read the situation either. Okay. So I get in the back of the car and they take off. First 4 minutes, the most chill experience I've ever had in an Uber. They were quiet, they were driving. It's from Huntington to Ashland. I don't expect them to talk to me the whole time. That's a 30-minute drive. Until the lady in the passenger seat turns around and looks at me and goes, do you like smooth jazz? I was like, hey, I had a girlfriend in high school, theoretically. She turns on smooth jazz. That's a bad look for me. And we sit there, smooth jazz playing. Then she turns back around. She goes, hey, Ashland's a really long drive. We didn't realize when we picked up the Uber, it was going to be to Ashland. Do you care if we stop for some water and stuff? That makes sense to me. I said, of course. And there's like an Uber, there's like a speedway, right not even a block away, and I'm like, I'm gonna stop at the speedway. They drive past the speedway. And they proceed to drive another 4 blocks and park in front of this house. I don't want to talk bad about where anyone lives, but this prompted me to text Zach, hey, is this the bad part of Huntington? And he goes, hey, Derek, in their defense, you're always 2 blocks away from a bad part of Huntington. So I said, fair point. They go, hey, give us 5 minutes, we'll be right back. 5 minutes goes by, they're in this house. 15 minutes goes by, they're in this house. 45 minutes go by, they are still in what I can only assume now, a crack den. I wanted to give him the benefit, guys, I shouldn't have. I text Zach. Well, I don't text Zach. Zach texts me. He goes, hey, why are you stationary right now? Why aren't you moving? I said, they needed to stop for some water. He goes, what? For their drugs? I said, no, they seem upstanding. I was wrong. And so Zach goes, hold on a minute. What he does that I do not know he does until after the fact, he pulled out his phone and he called the Uber driver. And then after he hangs up, Uber support calls the Uber driver. That is 2 calls. 2 calls for 2 crackheads, not a good deal. So he calls them. They finally, after almost an hour, come back out to this car. They lean in, they look at me. I go, did you call Uber support? I said, I ain't no snitch. I might look it, I ain't it. So, they get back in the car, they pull back out. Another good 3 minutes. But I guess there's a time mess up on how crack kicks in. So the 3 minutes go by. This white lady in the passenger seat looks at the black lady in the driver's seat and goes, how much money he owe you? My first thought, oh no, how much money I owe her. The black lady, extremely quietly, whispers, $500. The white lady in the passenger seat goes, he can't mess with you like that. I'm a black belt in Taekwondo, and I grew up in the hood. All over the smooth tones of jazz. So then I proceed to sit in this car, because after 2 hours in this car, we get on the highway. Guys, I could have been to Ashland, to Huntington, to Ashland, to Huntington, to Ashland, to Huntington that time. Want to know where I went? 10th Avenue to 12th Avenue. So, I don't have much more time up here, guys, but I want to hit you with the best that this story has to offer. At one point, she looks at me and she goes, do you believe in God? I say, of course I believe in God, guys. Because she has a gun to my head, shaped like a 2002 Toyota. And I've been Derek Stacy. You all have been amazing. Are you guys excited? Because he is excited.